let's just go ahead and get started. Spotlight myself. Let's start laying down on our backs. So go ahead and just lay down on your mat. And if you want to, just take a moment to stretch your body a little bit. So arms long, legs long, or any other little wiggles that would feel good to you. And then eventually find what's called constructive rest pose. So feet on the ground with your knees bent, and then feet just a little bit wider than your hips. And if you want to, you can let your knees fall in towards one another. And then just bring one hand to your heart space, one hand to your belly. Close your eyes. And take these first few moments to just kind of let the rest of your day fade away. So take these first few moments to really become present. So whatever has happened earlier today, whatever's going to happen later today, let it go. Just feel your body on the ground. Feel anything there is to feel, physical sensation, emotions that are present. Just noticing your energetic state of being. And eventually start to bring awareness to your breath. And we'll take 3 big deep breaths together. So next time you inhale, just fill up as big as you can. And then when you think you're full, see if you can even sip in just a little bit more. Open your mouth, a big sigh, let it go. Do that a couple more times. So great big inhale, fill up. Pause at the top. Let the breath circulate around, maybe an extra little sip. And then big open mouth sigh when you're ready. Just let it go, release. One more time, biggest inhale you've taken all day long. Pause in fullness. Hold your breath, but see if you can relax and soften around your held breath. And then open your mouth and let it go. Seal your lips now and begin to drop into Ujjayi breath. So in and out through your nose by way of the back of your throat. And start to create that whisper noise or that oceanic sound as you breathe in and out slowly and intentionally. And as you connect to your breath, draw your knees in towards your belly. So lift your feet, hug your knees in, and just start to rock gently from side to side for a moment. Give your low back a nice little massage against the ground. And then set just your left foot back on the ground with your knee bent. And extend your right leg straight up towards the ceiling. Grab hold behind your right thigh. So bend your knee as much as you need to keep a neutral spine. And then press up through your right heel, flex back through your toes. You can stay here or option to extend your left leg forward. So left leg is just resting on the ground, extended forward. And then take a moment and just roll out your right ankle. So fullest range of motion you can find through your right ankle joint. You might hear some little snap, crack, and pops. That's okay. Reverse your circles. Take a few in the opposite direction. And go ahead and just flex your toes back in active. Press up through your heel. Take one more great big inhale. And then as you exhale, bend your right knee. Bring your hands to the front of your right shin. And give your right knee a big squeeze up towards your right armpit. So big, huge squeeze as you take a big, huge breath down into your belly. And then you can kind of loosen your grip on your right leg, move into a supine twist. So right arm out to the right. I like to scoop my hips over to the right and then roll onto your left side. So feel your right hip stacked on top of your left hip. Shoulders square towards the ceiling, square towards the sky. And big deep breaths down into your belly. You can gaze up or over your right shoulder. If you want to bring your left hand to the outside of your right thigh or knee, feel free. Take about 2 or 3 more big deep breaths into your twist. Good, and then end of your next exhale, ease your way back to neutral spine. Set your left foot on the ground with your knee bent again. Extend your right leg straight up, flex through your toes. And then supine pigeon. So outer right ankle, top of your left thigh. Press your right knee forward and down. This may be enough for you, or if you want, lift your left foot, grab hold behind your left thigh. Pull in with your arms, press away with your legs. About 3 or 4 deep breaths. You can rock a little bit if you want to. Keep that flexion in your right toes and send your breath all the way down into your hips. Just a couple more. And then if you do happen to have your left foot lifted, release your left leg, set your left foot back on the ground. Cross your right knee all the way on top of your left knee. So like somebody would sit in a chair if they were wearing a really short skirt. And then lift your left foot. If you can take eagle legs here, go for it. If not, no big deal. Just squeeze your upper legs together. Bring your right hand to your right thigh. And then your left hand stacks on top of your right hand. Lift your head, chin to chest, and start to press your hands into your legs. At the same time, press your legs into your hands. Pull your belly down. Squeeze your legs. Press arms into legs, legs into arms. Pull your belly down. You should feel your core engaging. Take one more deep breath. Press. And end of your exhale, let it go. Arms out to both sides. Uncross your legs. Feet together, knees apart for a moment. So Supta Baddha Konasana, and just rest here. Your feet can be all the way up towards your groin, or they can be further away from your upper body, whatever feels better. And it might even feel good to kind of flutter your knees up and down a few times. Just some big deep breaths. And then lift your knees up, feet on the ground, knees bent, and extend your right leg straight up towards the, or excuse me, extend your left leg straight up towards the sky. So right foot on the ground with your knee bent, left leg extends up, grab hold behind your left thigh. And your right foot can stay on the ground with your knee bent, or at any time you can extend your right leg forward. Roll out your left ankle, big full circles, fullest range of motion you can find through your left ankle joints. And then reverse your circles, take a few in the opposite direction. Keep a neutral spine here, so you don't want to lift your head up. If you need to bend your left knee, that's fine. Just get your left leg as straight as you can. I have a bend in my left knee, as you can see. All right, flex your toes back and press through your heel. See if you can even feel the front of your left quad start to fire up. Take one more big inhale, lengthen. And then as you exhale, just bend your left knee, hands around the front of your shin, and give your knee a big squeeze up towards your left armpit. So squeeze, 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 in and up. Big Buddha belly breath. And then loosen your grip a bit and move into your supine spinal twist. So left arm out to the left. I'm going to scoot my hips over to the left and then roll onto your right side. Shoulders stay square towards the sky. Heart stays open. Gaze up or over your left shoulder. If you want to bring your right hand to the outside of your left thigh, that's fine. And then big spacious breaths down into low belly, low back. Take just a couple more here. End of your next exhale, ease your way back to neutral spine position. And right foot on the ground now with your knee bent. Extend your left leg up again. Flex your toes, figure 4, supine pigeon. So outer left ankle, top of your right thigh. You can keep your right foot on the ground, or you can lift your right foot up and grab hold of your right leg. You can rock a little bit from side to side and just send your breath down into your hips. Keep the flexion in your left toes. Try to keep a neutral spine. Good job, friends. The last couple of rounds in your supine pigeon. And then if you are holding on to your right leg, so your right foot back on the ground, everybody cross left knee on top of right knee. So your knees are stacked, your legs are crossed. Now pick up your right foot, and if you can get eagle legs, your toes around your calf, awesome. I can't. So I'm just going to squeeze the tops of my legs together. Bring your left hand to your left thigh, right hand on top of your left hand. Lift your head, chin to chest, draw your belly down. Press arms into legs, legs back into arms. Draw your belly down. Try not to strain through your face. Keep pressing arms into legs, legs into arms. Squeeze your legs together. Draw your belly down. Take one more deep breath. Press, squeeze. And let it go. Uncross your legs again. Arms out wide. Feet together, knees apart. You can bounce your knees a little bit if that would feel good. Just let your hips open. Try not to hold your legs up, but just let gravity take hold. Maybe an open mouth sigh. And then lift your knees up, feet on the ground, set up for bridge pose. So you want your feet now about hips width distance apart, all 10 toes face forward, your ankles straight down from your knees, arms down by your sides. Exhale, pull your belly button down, scoop your tailbone up, and then inhale to peel your spine off your mat. Once you get to the top of your bridge, you choose. You can work your shoulders underneath you. You can interlace your fingers underneath you. You can take robot arms. We'll be here for about 5 breaths. Hug in with your inner thighs. Press down through your heels and the inner edges of your feet especially. And breathe down into your belly. Feel the stretch, the opening through your front body, front of your hips. Keep pressing down through the back of your head so your chin is lifted just slightly away from your chest. Take about 2, maybe 3 more breaths. See if you can lift your hips a little bit higher. And then stay in your bridge pose, but just work your shoulders out from underneath you. Arms straight up towards the sky. Take one more inhale, lift your hips. Keep reaching your arms straight up and slow, slow, slow. Roll down. Back to a neutral spine, one vertebra at a time. Once you're back in neutral spine position, tee out your arms. Bring your knees out, bring your feet out, mat width distance apart. And windshield wiper your knees side to side. You can go slow or quick, whatever feels better to you. Usually the slower you go, the more you feel, the more you notice. No rush. Good job, friends. Finish the round you're on and then come back to center. Draw your knees in towards your belly, gently rock it out from side to side. And then after a few rocks from side to side, take a few rocks forward and back. So along your spine, rock it out. And after a few rocks forward and back, just rock up into a seated position. So take a moment and find a nice comfortable seat. If you want to sit up on top of a pillow or blanket or bolster, please feel free. Arms just relax down by your sides. Nice and tall through your spine. Exhale in your breath. Inhale, reach your arms out, around and up. And exhale, hands to your heart center. Inhale, reach your arms forward and then wide open. Exhale, hands back to your heart center. Inhale, reach your arms straight up, press your palms together, get as tall as you can. And exhale, arms down by your sides. Couple more times, making a moving meditation. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, hands to your heart. Inhale, forward and wide open. Exhale, gather your hands back in. Moving with your breath, palms pressed together. Inhale, reach. Exhale, hands back to the ground. One last round. Ground connects to sky. Inhale, reach up. Sky to heart, hands to heart. Inhale, open, just symbolically sharing your energy with all of us and your space. And then exhale, gather some energy back in for yourself into your own heart. Heart to sky, reach up, connecting yourself to the sky, to the heavens, to the universe. And exhale, sky back to ground. This time, reach just your right arm up. And then walk your left fingertips over to the left a little bit. Maybe bend your left elbow so your forearm starts to work towards the ground. And then reach and stretch through your right side. Try to keep both sit bones rooted down. And if you want to, you can explore a little bit. Maybe you round and kind of look down at the ground. Maybe you open and look up a little. Open through your heart space. Even take your arm back behind you. So feel free to explore, feel into it. Take about 2 more rounds. And then next time you breathe in, just rise back up and set your right hand down by your side as you exhale. Same thing, other side. Left arm lifts up. Walk your right hand over to the right, maybe a little bend in your right elbow, and then reach and stretch through your left side. Sit bones stay rooted, but if there's any way you want to feel or explore in this pose, go for it. Big deep breaths. Good job, you guys. Take about 2 more rounds. And next time you breathe in, just lift your torso and your left arm, and then exhale, left hand back to ground. Go ahead and come forward to your hands and your knees, tabletop. Move through some cat-cow. So inhale to arch your spine. This is spinal extension. And exhale to round your spine. Spinal flexion. So back and forth through those two postures. It's like a moving meditation. Inhale to open, exhale to close and curl in. And after you've taken about 3 to 5 rounds of cat-cow, just take it all the way back into a downward facing dog, no hurry. And this is our first down dog of practice, so we'll be here for a few breaths. You can explore from your down dog, pedal out your heels, shift your weight from side to side, move your hips from side to side. Feel into all that length from your fingertips up to your sit bones. Maybe work the length in the backs of your legs, or maybe you want to keep a big bend in your knees. That's totally fine as well. Use the strength in your core, your connection to your center, to lift you out of your arms. So like you've got a rope attached to your belly button, pulling up, tugging back. Take one more inhale into your down dog. And then as you exhale, look forward to the top of your mat. And however you want to get there, forward fold. Once you've arrived, find your halfway lift position. Breathe in. Exhale, bow, let it go. Root through your feet and rise all the way to stand. Arms to the sky. Inhale. Hands to heart center as you exhale. Flow with your breath for a moment. Inhale, reach up and stretch. Exhale, take a slow dive down. We'll go through some sun A's. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands, feet back. Move through your vinyasa however you would like. So you're welcome to add push-ups. Take a couple extra breaths in your heart opener. Eventually back to down dog. Take a moment in your dog pose, feeling into all that length and space, all that strength. One more big inhale. Exhale, look forward, step or hop, top of your mat. Halfway lift once you've arrived, breathe in. Exhale, bow and fold. Root to rise all the way up, arms reach. Exhale, hands to heart. One more time, just like that. Inhale, high mountain. Exhale, follow your breath down nice and easy. Lift halfway with your inhale. And exhale, vinyasa. Feet back, move through it however you would like to once again. End up in downward facing dog. Couple breaths or so in down dog. Push into the ground with your hands. Lift through your center, lengthen through your spine and your side bodies. One more inhale. Exhale, look forward, step or hop. Top of your mat. Halfway lift, breathe in. Exhale, bow, fold. Root through your feet and take it all the way to stand. Arms reach up. Exhale, hands to heart center. All right, inhale, arms reach up. And then pause here. Let's balance on our right foot. Lift your left knee up, standing staff. So balancing on your right foot, left knee is lifted. Take one more inhale. And then as you exhale, figure 4, sit back into a one-legged chair pose. So outer left ankle on top of your right thigh, weight is in your right heel. You can stay in a one-legged chair, or if you want, you can work into a forward fold variation. You can play with an arm balance if that's in your practice. So take about 3 more breaths, just feeling into this standing hip opener. Keep the flexion in your left toes. Keep pressing your outer ankle firmly into the top of your thigh. Keep breathing. Good job, you guys. We're going to meet back in standing staff. So if at all possible, stay balanced on your right foot. Lift your left knee up once again, arms to the sky. Take an inhale here. And then as you exhale, low lunge, slow motion. So left toes to the back of your mat and hands to the ground, framing your front foot. So once you've landed, take a moment to adjust your legs if you need to. Find your strong lunge position. Keep your left hand down, reach your right arm up, revolve lunge. So legs stay strong. Imagine you're trying to drag your right hip back, but at the same time, your right knee is hugging towards your left armpit. Squeeze through your inner thighs, twist from your center. Take about 2 more breaths. Breathe all the way down into your belly. And bottom of your second exhalation, let it go, unwind. Hands to the left long edge of your mat, parallel your feet, straighten out your legs. So you're in a wide-legged straddle. Halfway lift, breathe in. Fingertips on the ground, and start to crawl your hands towards the back of your mat a little bit as you bend your left knee. You can stay here, left knee bent, all 10 toes face forward, right hand on the ground, left arm to the sky, if you're in this variation, or option for full Skandasana. So if you want to move into full Skandasana, left toes pivot towards the back edge of your mat, right toes pivot up towards the ceiling. And then maybe left arm on the ground, left hand on the ground, I should say, right arm to the sky. So you're twisting the opposite way if you're in full Skandasana. You choose what serves you better, what's more beneficial in your body. Give it 2 more deep breaths. Your right toes are pointing up, flex them back towards your shin. Good job, friends. And then your next exhale, just come back to your wide-legged straddle. Inhale, halfway lift, bring your hands to your hips, and then rise all the way up into a standing position. So you're standing now in your wide-legged straddle. Pivot your heels in, point your toes out, come down into a high squat. So make sure your knees are pretty much lined up over your ankles so it doesn't look like this. If you look like this, then readjust. So ankles straight down from knees, hands on your thighs. Inhale, standing cow pose. So stick your butt out, lift your heart, spinal extension. Exhale, twist towards the front of your mat. Inhale through center. Exhale, twist towards the back of your mat. Stay low in your legs. Inhale through center. Exhale 1 more time each way. Twist to the front. Inhale, center. And to the back. Exhale. Inhale, center. Straighten your legs. Parallel your feet. Arms to the sky. And take it all the way back down into your fold. Hang out in your fold for about 3 breaths. So maybe a ragdoll pose, maybe you grab hold of your ankles, maybe you walk your hands forward like I'm doing. Reconnect to your ujjayi if you've lost it. Good job, my friends. Next time you breathe in, come back to that halfway lift one last time. Fingertips on the ground. Walk your hands forward, rotate your toes forward, so you're in a low lunge. Listen, from your low lunge, 3-legged down dog, take your right leg back and up. Open up your right hip, bend your right knee, reach it out and up. So feel the opening in the front of your right hip. Perfect place to stay, or option to flip your dog. Right foot comes down behind you, right arm forward, heart forward. Lift your hips, back muscles hug around your spine. Take one more big deep breath if you're in the back bend. And then everybody regular down dog and just walk it out. Inhale, down dog. Exhale, look forward, step or hop, top of your mat, forward fold. Lift halfway and lengthen, inhale. Exhale, bow. Root through your feet and rise all the way to stand, arms reach up. Hands to heart as you exhale. All right, inhale, reach up. Left foot is your base this time. Float your right knee up, standing staff. Flex your toes, find your balance. And then figure four, one-legged chair, outer right ankle, top of your left thigh. So absolutely, you can stay in a chair variation. Or if you want, take it into a forward fold. You're welcome to use any props or anything you have around you. So I like to use this chair in front of me to help me with my balance. So feel free to explore. If you fall out, no big deal. Come back in when you're ready. Flexion in your right toes. Actively press your outer ankle into the top of your thigh. Breathe. About 3 more breaths. If at all possible, stay balanced on your left foot and start to rise back up into your standing staff pose. So right knee lifts, arms reach, toes flex back and active. One more inhale. Slow motion, low lunge. So right toes to the back of your mat and hands come down to frame your front foot. Once you've landed, take a moment to adjust your legs if needed. And then right hand will stay on the ground, left arm to the sky for your revolve lunge or twist. Feel the twist coming from below your ribs, your belly, your center. Breathe down into your belly, breathe down into your low back, and use your exhales to work your twist. Take about 2 more rounds. Back leg is strong, spine is long. End of your second exhalation, let it go, unwind, hands over to the right long edge of your yoga mat. So parallel your feet, straighten your legs, find your wide-legged straddle. Halfway lift, fingertips on the ground. Start to crawl your hands to the back of your mat as you start bending into your right knee. Stay here or add a twist from here, left hand down, right arm up. Or final option, only if you want to take it. Full Skandasana, so right toes pivot towards the back edge of your mat, left toes pivot towards the sky. And if you're in full Skandasana, right hand on the ground, left arm up. Both variations, couple more rounds. If you're in full Skandasana, flex through your left toes and energetically try to pull your heels towards one another. Good job, my friends. End of your next exhale. Let's bring it back to our wide-legged straddle. So adjust your feet, adjust your legs. Come back to a halfway lift, hands to hips, and then rise all the way up to stand. Heels in, toes out, high squats. Make sure your knees are right over your ankles. And then this time we're going to do something a little bit different. Take your arms out to both sides. Stay low in your legs. As you inhale, I'll turn this way so you can see me. Lift your heart and open. As you exhale, round your spine and bring your hands, the backs of your hands together out in front of your body. Inhale, open. Exhale, close, round. Backs of your hands come together. Stay low. Move with your breath. Inhale, open and arch. Spinal extension. Exhale, close and round. Spinal flexion. Stay low in your legs. Try not to let your knees fall in. Keep pressing into the outer edges of your feet. Couple more breaths. Good job, you guys. And then finish the round you are on. Come back to just neutral. So arms reach straight out, straighten your legs. Parallel your feet. Take your arms to the sky. Inhale. Now listen, as you exhale this time, hands behind your back. Interlace your fingers. Roll your shoulders back and down. Maybe start to reach your hands back. Possibly start to lift your heart up. One more big, huge in-breath. Keep your class. Exhale, dive down. Wide-legged fold with your fingers interlaced. You have to engage your core to hold yourself in this position without your hands on the ground. So use that navel to spine connection. Lift your butt. Crown towards the ground, butt towards the sky. See if you can lift your knuckles. Work that opening in the front of your shoulders. Couple more breaths. Good job. Hands to low back. Release your class. Next time you inhale, halfway lift, fingertips on the ground. Walk your hands forward, rotate your toes forward, so back to low lunge. From low lunge, three-legged dog, left leg to the sky. Open your left hip, bend your left knee. Great place to stay, or option to flip. Left foot comes down, left arm forward, heart forward. Lift your hips. Feel your back muscles squeeze around your spine. One last huge breath. And then back to regular down dog, everybody. Take a few breaths in your down dog, walk it out. And then you can choose to either move through a vinyasa to find your way to child's pose, or just bring your knees down and sit back into child's pose. Breathe into low back. Breathe into your hips. Good, you guys. Take about 3 more just grounding breaths. And then rise up, friends, just to hands and knees, just to a tabletop. From your tabletop, we're going to move into modified side plank on our right side. So right hand is our base, pivot on your right knee, right foot comes to the outside of your mat, left leg reaches back, and then left arm up. Try not to stick your butt out, but rather stick your hips forward, press your hips gently forward. Option to take your left arm, reach it forward, so bicep next to your ear, and maybe even float your left leg up. Keep it strong and powerful if you do float it up. Choose to stay right here. Final option, bend your left knee, reach back, grab hold of your foot. Once you've got it, work that pose. So kick foot into hand, pull hand back into foot. See if you can let your heart look up even more. Press your hips forward even more. Breathe, 2 more rounds, full spacious breaths. Soften your face, unclench your jaw. End of your next exhale, slowly release it. Come back to hands and knees. From hands and knees, right leg straight out to the right. So gate your right leg out to the right, toes face forward, heel comes straight out from your hip. Left arm out to the left and then up to the sky. Breathe in. Thread the needle. So thread your left arm through. Reach through and then come down to rest on the outside of your shoulder, outside of your head. If there's any variation you want to take or any way you want to explore, go for it. Take about 3 or 4 more rounds, slow and steady. Good job, you guys. If you do happen to have your right hand lifted, bring your right hand back to the ground. Next time you inhale, unthread your left arm, reach it out, reach it up, open. And then left hand comes down. Pick up your right foot, swing your right leg all the way over so your right toes come off the left side of your yoga mat. And then pull your hips to your right as you gaze back over your left shoulder. So lengthen through your right side, kind of lean into it. And end of your next exhale, let it go. Come back to tabletop. For just a moment, take it back to downward facing dog. From your down dog, walk your feet out to the width of your mat, nice and wide. And you might walk your feet in just a tiny bit closer to your hands, but stay in a down dog. So you want your foundation to be your hands, not your feet. From here, take your right hand and reach back to grab the outside of your left ankle. If that's too much, grab the back of your calf or the back of your knee, but get as low as you can on your left leg. Keep your right hand rooted, right shoulder strong. Keep lifting through your center. And then each time you exhale, twist and gaze underneath your left shoulder. About 2 more breaths. End of your next exhale, regular down dog. You choose, move through a vinyasa to find your way into child's pose, or just lower your knees and sit back into your child's pose. Couple of grounding breaths, restorative breaths. You can move your hips a little side to side, roll your forehead a little side to side. And then rise up, hands and knees, tabletop. This time, modified side plank on your left side. So pivot on your left knee, left foot comes to the outside of your mat, right leg reaches back, right arm reaches up, open up. So press your hips gently forward. Option to take your right arm next to your ear, lengthen your right side. Option to float your right leg up. So feeling all that length on your right side, stay here, or final option only if you want to take it, bend your right knee, reach back, grab hold of your foot. And then once you've got it, gentle leverage to work your pose. So kick foot into hand, pull hand back into foot. See if you can let your heart look up a little bit more. Soften around the pose, soften your face, soften your outer shell. Last couple of breaths. Nice work. End of your next exhalation, slowly, intentionally let it go. Back to hands and knees. And this time, gate out your left leg. Extend your left leg out to the left. Toes face forward, heels straight out from your hip. Take your right arm out to the right, up to the sky. Breathe in. And exhale to thread it through. So resting ever so gently on the outside of your head and shoulder. Any variation you want to take here. Breath by breath, just feeling into it, softening around it. Good job. End of your next exhalation. If you happen to have your left hand lifted, bring your left hand back to the earth. Everybody, next time you inhale, unthread your right arm. Reach it out and up one more time. Open through the right side of your heart and exhale, right hand down. Pick up your left foot, swing your left toes off the right side of your mat. Push them into the ground as you pull your hips to the left and gaze back at your tiptoes. So feel all that length from your left shoulder down to your left heel. Breathe into it. Good job. Come back to tabletop. Back to downward facing dog. In your down dog, walk your feet out to the width of your mat, nice and wide. Maybe walk your toes forward just an inch or two, not super a lot. So you still want to feel like you're in a down dog. You don't want to feel like you're in a forward fold. And then take your left hand, reach it around to grab the outside of your right ankle, back of your calf, or back of your knee. So as low as you can get on your leg. Once you've got that, gentle leverage. So use your hand against your leg to work it just a little bit deeper, breath by breath. See if you can gaze underneath your right armpit. Feel the twist coming from your center. Keep lifting your hips high. Last couple of rounds. Good job. Come back to down dog. And you choose one final vinyasa or just one final child's pose. So we'll all meet in the child's pose. No hurry. Just let everything settle. Breathe into your low back, your low belly. Rise to hands and knees. Come all the way down onto your belly. So just kind of scoot your knees back and lower down to your belly. Let's take shoulder pigeon, right arm first. So right arm straight out to the right, palm faces the ground, roll up onto your right side. Left foot can come down behind you like a little kickstand or any other variation you might want to take with your legs, with your left arm. Keep your head relaxed on the ground or on something. So since you're at home, feel free to use a pillow under your head if you want to. Keep your right palm facing down, and you primarily want this to stretch the front of your right shoulder. So feel into that first, and then you can add on from there. So don't try difficult variations if you can't even feel that stretch in your right shoulder. Work that first. You want to intensify the stretch in your right shoulder. Start to bring your right arm into more of a cactus position. Take about 3 more rounds. End of your next exhalation, slowly ease your way back onto your belly. We'll take the other side, but you don't have to rush into it. So maybe you take a moment just kind of resting on your belly. Maybe you shimmy your hips, rock your hips, or windshield wiper your shins. When you are ready, no rush. Left arm straight out to the left and roll up onto your left side. Breathe. Find your own variation here. Head rests down. Face is relaxed. Breathe as big as you can. Think about 3 or 4 more. Open mouth sigh if you want. Last great big breath. And then ease your way back onto your belly. And for just a moment, once again, kind of rock your hips side to side, windshield wiper your shin. And from here, we're just gonna roll over onto our back. So your head can stay facing forward, but just roll over onto your back. And once you're there, draw both knees in, gently rock it out. You choose one final inversion of your choice. So maybe you want another bridge pose. Maybe you want legs up the wall. Maybe you want to play with headstand, plow, shoulder stand. So about 5 rounds, 5 to 7, let's say, in your inversion. And you're more than welcome to move through a couple different ones. You don't have to hold the same one the entire time unless you want to. So anything that puts hips and legs or legs higher than your heart. When you feel complete with your inversion, and please feel free to stay longer, take your time, but ease your way out and eventually end up in windshield wiper. So eventually just tee out your arms, feet, hips, or excuse me, feet mat width distance apart and just side to side a few rounds. And again, you can take your time. After a few rounds of windshield wipers, find a happy baby pose. Hold down with your arms in your happy baby as you press up through your heels. So there's a level of resistance. You want your spine to be as neutral as possible. Maybe you kind of rock it out. Maybe you extend one leg and then the other, both at the same time, if that's available to you. So any exploration or play in your happy baby. And then just start to find your way into your Shavasana, your final relaxation. And at this point, just let your breath be completely effortless. Let your body just relax and give in. So no need to hold yourself up, just let yourself be held. And as you settle in, I have a reading for you. This is by Young Pueblo. Let go of perfection. Forcing it does not work. Ups and downs are natural. Stop doubting your progress. Be generous, but have boundaries. Love is much bigger than relationships. You have to let go many times to heal. Emotional maturity makes a difference. Running from what you feel does not help. Beauty is abundant, but connection is unique. I'll read through all those one last time and just kind of take them in, feel them in your body. Let go of perfection. Forcing it does not work. Ups and downs are natural. Stop doubting your progress. Be generous, but have boundaries. Love is much bigger than relationships. You have to let go many times to heal. Emotional maturity makes a difference. Running from what you feel does not help. Beauty is abundant, but connection is unique. Just kind of let those flow around inside of you, settle in. Let all the energy from your practice settle in, soak in. And just feel everything there is to feel, the aliveness inside of your body for these last couple moments. Take a deep breath in and let it go. And just start to wiggle, bring gentle movement back into your body. In your own time, in your own way, find your own transition up into a seated meditation. So eventually just sitting up tall with your eyes closed and your hands gathered to your heart. Just bow your head to your heart and acknowledge yourself. Thank yourself for taking the time out of your day to do your practice, to connect with yourself, with your body, with your breath. Thank you so much for letting me guide you. Namaste. All right, amazing nooner yogis. You guys rock. Good job. You're all still there.
Thanks, Katie.
Thanks, Katie.
You're so welcome. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Next
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.